Hey YouTube, this is Prometheus, the only YouTuber that is actually trying to show you the non-meta out there. I know a lot of people that play online, they use a lot of the bunch formations, the tray formations, but I want to kind of show you a formation that is not commonly getting used online, and it's something that has got some really good routes and stuff like that. Now this is something I've already posted on my Patreon, but this is actually a 2.0 version of this particular formation. What I love about it is that this formation comes with all my audibles stock and ready to go. So this is out of the 49ers, the San Francisco 49ers, and basically you can run this formation stock. So this is a good playbook to have if you're playing draft champions or playing basically mutt, because you don't have to. You just come out of base plays and just leave your audibles as is. So we're going to be taking a look at these plays real quick. It's a limited formation. It's only got 9 plays, a couple of jet touch passes. So it's actually kind of nice. I'd probably, out of the huddle, I'd probably go ahead and call a jet touch pass and maybe sprinkle in a couple of these different plays in my scheme. But for the sake of this, let's just go ahead and call basically the halfback screen is our base play. Now we're going to go ahead and run this against random nickel defenses, and this defense I'm going against actually has a really good plethora of formations out of the nickel defense. So we're just going to do random nickels and just make our reads and progressions from there. So you've got your basic inside zone. You've got an RPO too, but either way, you got your zone play. So obviously, if you catch someone opening up their lanes, you can just go ahead and try to run it up to the side and actually get your runs there. But we're going to go and break down the 3 passing plays that really make this play great. So let's go ahead and take a look at this particular play. This is the formation. This is the particular play that when I saw this in this breakdown, I was like, oh god, this is a great play. It's got a lot of really unique routes that if you don't have hot route master or you don't have star apprentice type wide receivers and tight ends or running backs, this has got a lot of great fundamentals. You've got two in close to the formation corner routes. You've got an inside whip route, which I love having in my back pocket. And then you have an angle route. So this is going to be one of our base audibles. Another play right here essentially is this red zone scissors. I don't necessarily look to the running back route too much. I find that it's not really that consistent, but you got a nice little inside route with the tight end off to or the wide receiver off to the right. And you have a dig concept, a levels concept that you can use against your opponent to basically cut your opponent across the middle. Now here's a great play right here. This play is a play action go slot cross, and what makes this play really tick is the triangle route, the slot receiver route. That route gets crazy depth. It gets up 40 yards down the field. It's a crosser that gets across the field, and pro players actually sprinkle this play into their scheme and essentially use that particular route to basically bait their opponent. So there's a setup I actually originally posted on my play. I was actually trying to get a wheel route out of my running back, but I found that actually just sending out 3 wide receivers is just a better version of it based on this. So let's just go and take a look at this play, and then we'll kind of go from there. Ideally, you want to do this where you have the wide side of the field because Samuel's going to get up a little bit further. And first thing we're going to do is we're going to max protect. I want to go ahead and take that tight end and actually that's on the flat and go ahead and not have anything going on with him. And then the next adjustment we're going to do is we're going to take our left of screen wide receiver. We're going to put him in a drag route. So now we've got a levels concept that you're going to have between those 2 guys. Now the last adjustment, if I have time, not necessarily, but if I have time, I'm going to streak up my outside right of screen wide receiver. And this is a very simple read. We're just going to be looking high-low, preferably with Samuels, and just trying to go ahead and hit the outside with that. Now here's the thing. You want to go ahead and make sure that you don't give up basically an edge like that. So this is I'm glad I actually showed that. With this particular play, what you want to do is you want to actually go ahead and double team your protection off the edge so you can actually take your quarterback and roll off to the right. Now ideally what you want to do is you want to roll to the side. This is like the play action play that a lot of people like to run with bunch, but this is going to basically go ahead and give you a high-low. And what's cool about this particular play is this route right here. So let's go into instant replay and show you why this route is just so money. It's got inside positioning, so a lot of times man coverage you're not going to be able to shade correctly. And if you got your best wide receiver, your fastest wide receiver, he's going to get underneath the coverages, and you actually can do a nice little completion right down the field. So we look at this. We're throwing the ball here at the 45. and we're picking up almost 40 yards right down there. So it's a great play to actually have when you need some big yards. So let's just go ahead, set it up again. We're going to go ahead and set up a protection, double screen the edge protector, and we're going to go ahead and put a drag route underneath, and we'll watch the coverages. So let's see right here, drag route, you want to go ahead and try to hit across the coverages right there in that type of situation. So that's going to be the area you want to go to. So let's just go ahead and run this again. We're going to go ahead and protect the edge with a double team. That way I can take with my quarterback. And we're just going to run the quarterback out. Now, you can playmaker this guy up, and that essentially will open things up for you. But also, if it's a lot of man-to-man coverage, if you playmaker that guy up, let me show this to you in instant replay again. If you playmaker this guy up, and it's man-to-man coverage, a lot of times, if you playmaker him up, that's going to pull the defender up, giving you an area where you can run with your quarterback. So this is just essentially three routes that you're looking at. I probably could have hit this route really quick, but I don't necessarily want to do that. I want to go and force my opponent to stop this concept, because what's going to happen is this route that's going across the middle is going to be the area to field. So you can see this is the early and best read right here. This guy's completely cleared out, easy completion, but you've got that check down too if he takes that away manually. So three quick adjustments, get your protection out there, roll out, and this route is just completely money, and your opponent's going to have to use that. So basically that's going to pretty much open up everything else. So what I like to do is I like this play right here, the tight end corner, and I run it a couple different ways. If I'm going to attack my opponent off the left-hand side, basically I'm going to take my wide receiver on the left side, this Sheffield guy, put him on a whip route or put him on basically a flat route. I want to basically have this guy giving me a fast read and give me a choice on where I want to go with it. Another thing I can do is actually put that guy in a hitch off to the right, because he'll be someone I can check down to if my reads are away. So I'm going to look to Sherfield first, and then if I get man coverage, I'm going to look to this route right here over the top with man coverages. Now that wide receiver just completely burnt that defender. Look to the flat, got the corner, and then also with the corner flat concept, that clears out the zones for basically the running back on the backside. So we're going to set this up again. And you can see this corner is going to be wide available to your opponent. So he's going to have to use that. And if he's used to chasing that crossing pattern from a play action go, and then you actually go to the opposite side, that's really going to drive him crazy. Now you could do a whip route with Sherfield underneath, and that's just going to give you just another fast, quick man read that you can hit. And it's also going to pull down the zone below there if it's a cloud flat out there. Now, if I want to work that inside whip, basically what I do is I want to try to make sure that my running back route is not in that area. So what I can do is I can do a wheel route or I can do a fly route. It really depends on whether my opponent's using a lot of reads right here. But all I'm going to do with this little whip is essentially try to hit that real quick. And you can see I'm picking up 5 or 6 yards, and then I make my progressions over to the right side of the field. So right here, man read, and I'm just going to go and cut that thing in and pick up the yards. I've gotten multiple first downs with this particular play right here, setting it up like so, and then you have basically against routes right there. You've got pretty much the wheel concept that's going to clear out the zones right there. But if you got your guys going off the flats, it's going to give you another area that you want to go with it. So just going to do that. I want to just show you what happens if you leave the angle route and the whip route together. It's going to basically get another defender in that area. And I don't necessarily like having routes that go into each other's areas. They're either separating zones and giving you space, but I don't like having guys in the same area. So that's why if I leave the whip route, I'm going to streak up my running back or put him in an out or some type of a complement like that. So it kind of gives me a levels concept that I can use against my opponent. So that's what I want to do. Is if I feel like he might try to take away the whip because I went to it too much, I want to go ahead and try to complement it. Now if it's zone coverage and you don't have a man read, basically what you can do is you can put that little wheel route with the flat, and that should be an area that's going to open up very easy for you. So just one quick adjustment, snap the ball. Once again, we're just going to keep hitting that whip if he's not going to be doing that over the top. Now, what's cool about it too is that with the whip, you've also got your man beaters with the corners. So, okay, here you go. All right, so basically that wheel route by the running back was wide open. Even though it was a heavy blitz, I was watching for this route right here. See how the guy's coming in. Basically, the pass protection just broke down on me. But you could see when I threw that ball right there, I was actually in the process of throwing that ball. If I had a split second more, a faster release, he would have picked that up and probably picked up a good 10 yards or so. So here we go. And he has to kind of pick his poison. If he's in zone, if there's a defender that falls into that running back route, I just can come back to that whip on the backside. So that's what I love about this here play, is that it's just got your corners that clears things out. It forces your opponent to not play man coverages, and then basically you've got an inside whip, you've got the angle, you could just build the entire scheme off. Now let's go ahead and take a look at this last play, which is the red zone scissors. You can run this play stock. My first read is going to be inside with Alluck off to the inside, because a lot of times what I've found is I've actually going to be able to hit that for a big completion against my opponent, especially if he's trying to defend the sidelines too. Now, I don't really necessarily make any kind of adjustments. I used to run a play like this earlier where I'd streak up the tight end, but I find that that's not, because of the way they changed audibles, it's not going to be as effective as it used to be. So once again, we're going to be looking for that route right there, and then I've got basically checkdowns with the crosses over the top. And hit the seam with the wide receiver too. And he's going to get inside positioning against that guy. So that's an area that if your opponent's used to defending off the left, the crosser's off to the right, this is a great quick snap play to go and jump into and really catch your opponent off guard. Now, you've also got this route too with the running back. If you get the man reads, that's something you can hit at a higher level, especially if you got a really elite running back like I do with this team. But I'm really trying to attack my opponent with a quick snap with that seam right there, because that's just kind of a goofy route. It's always going to get inside leverage against the defensive back over there. Unless someone falls back into that zone, you're gonna be able to get a fast completion for 15 or 20 yards. So that's what I love about it. And then we also have on the backside, I have a levels concept with a 5-yard in, and then I have a deep yard in. The deep yards in off the left. Now, one of the things I really love about this formation, when I was in a jam and I needed to get yards and I needed to get yards fast, this is the formation I jumped into. But what's cool about it is that you attack your opponent to the outside. You've got levels concepts on the inside. You got a halfback angle. You got an inside whip route. This has pretty much got everything you need. This would be a formation that you could potentially master to go ahead and just really drive your opponent crazy. And then if right here, you can throw in your occasional slip screen, just to catch your opponent off guard, just to keep them guessing. So once again, guys, if you want to see more of these breakdowns, I've got full breakdowns of all these formations on my Patreon. For $1, you can get access to it. You can go ahead and take a look at my complete write-ups for the 49ers offense that I've been using successfully online. So thanks for your support, guys. Until next time.